I never set out to write a book. I don't know if you read the media and the Huffington Post and all that stuff. I got married.
Congratulations!
To a lady. I'm on a television show that you heard about called Glee. So, and I turned 50. And I have a daughter. And I'm building a house. And I'm financially secure for the first time in my life. And so I was walking up Runyon Canyon with my wife, and it's this wonderful, beautiful hike in Los Angeles. And, you know, as we were courting each other, we told each other the story of our life, and I started telling her, basically, I have been go, go, go since I was about 10 years old. I have not stopped to reflect on my life, although I am a navel gazer. I'm into the goddess stuff. I'm into all the spiritual stuff. I'm into astrology. I'm into all this, trying to make sense of my universe, because I'm one of those people who likes rules and likes formulas and wants to know exactly what the path is to success. And if I can get it through a tarot card or an astrological reading, that's great. And my wife is not like that at all. She's a scientist, and she's grounded in fact and reality. So she was laughing at me and said, "You have to write a book about this." When I was a kid, I was filled with anxiety because I knew exactly what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to be an actress, from right out of the chute. When I say the chute, I mean my mother's vagina. So I had that blessing / curse of knowing exactly what you want to do with your life. So you have a single-minded focus, but you also will not settle. And I had this fear of the parade passing me by. On top of that, at around 12 years old, I hung out with these girls, they're Isaacson twins, and they, although I call them Stevenson twins in the books, whoops, they go to South Florida for spring break. We're about 12 years old, and they said, you know, sometimes men hold hands walking down the beach and they're gay, and they said it like it was a disease. And I thought, oh my God, I have that disease. I have that curse. I have the girl version of that. So on top of feeling like I didn't belong in my family, I mean, I had a loving, wonderful Irish Catholic family. I always felt outside of it. Put on top of that I'm gay. I want to be an actress, which of course my parents think is insane. And one of the things I write about in the book is I was a big fan of the Brady Bunch. And in a happy accident of fate, I performed the Brady Bunch in about 30 years. The real life Brady Bunch version of it. But I loved that show. I wanted to be in that family. I wanted to be on that show, so I saw who cast the show, and I wrote them a letter saying I want to be on the Brady Bunch. And I got a return letter saying, you know, we basically saying, you know, we don't cultivate talent, and you know, if you grow up and you study and you want to be an actor, maybe we'll think. It was basically telling me to forget about it, but I saw it as like this wonderful thing that I got a letter from Universal Studios, from ABC, and my mother said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm writing letters to casting agents because I want to be an actress." And she said, "You know, honey, not everybody can do what they want to do." And I burst into tears. It was as if she told me that my life could not go on, my plan for myself. So that was a big deal for me, and so when I started writing this book, I looked back at those moments. And I remember that passion that I had as a kid, and I wanted to, if I could go back in time, what would I say to that kid? And I think the discoveries that I made for myself are worth sharing, which is why I wrote the book. I would say to my younger version of myself to just relax and trust your life, because that is the conclusion that I've come to in these 50 years. And as I'm walking up Runyon Canyon with my wife, I realized that my life has taken care of me. And what I did correctly is that I stayed open and said yes to almost everything in my life. And some things maybe I should have left on the wayside. I have an agent who said, "Jane will do anything for $1.50 in a steak." I did. Because I didn't feel myself unless I was with a group of people, and not as a star. I never really wanted to be a star. I wanted to feel part of a group and to feel valued for who I was. And now I'm doing this show called Glee. And it's about these kids who are unique in their own way, but in this, you know, vicious high school hierarchy, they get slushies in their face for it every day. But they come together and they raise their voice in song, and that's exactly what I was looking for as a kid. So I was talking to someone backstage about Glee, and he was saying how his kids are like religious about it. And I think the thing that draws people to that show, and I wish we had a show like that when I was growing up, and I wish we all had this type of show when we were growing up. It's a place where you can go, where you feel at home, where everybody loves you for your differences. We have a kid in a wheelchair, we have a kid with Down syndrome, we have, the Hispanic kid, we have the bad boy, we have the cheerleader, we have the adopted Asian Jewish person. You have somebody to relate to in Glee. And that's exactly what my life was a search for, was to be a part of a group. That's why I love doing ensembles. That's why I love that I'm an official, the unofficial Christopher Guest ensemble. And this whole kind of comedy ensemble thing that's going on, the movies these days that they're making, they're all about the best joke wins, and it's about being part of a group and celebrating each other's differences. And I feel like I was born at the right time. And I have been very, very lucky to find my place in the world. And with that, I'd love to open it up for questions about the book or about anything that you'd like to talk about. Anybody have any questions? Yes? Yeah? Oh, yes. Talking about the episode in Glee where my sister died. And people have asked, did Robin Trocchi? She's still with us. She died, but yes, and I love that show because she humanizes Sue Sylvester so much. I love that episode. Sue's obviously very angry about something. And as I was growing up, I talk about this in the book, I was rather insufferable, and I was frustrated that no one saw my genius, and I would lash out in the way that Sue Sylvester does. One of the most profound moments of my life when my work went from being just kind of goofing around to actually being something deep and resonant is when I got in touch with that anger inside of me. And I think that an early incarnation of Sue Sylvester was the woman in The Store Manager and the 40-Year-Old Virgin. The character I did in The L Word, these are people who kind of have that bubbly rage underneath there. And the great thing about Sue Sylvester is she's a culmination of all that stuff, and she just kind of is out there unashamed in a kind of an explosive rage way. But what I love what the writers did is they really humanized her with this very vulnerable sister that she's been trying to protect, and you understand why she's so pissed off. Yes? Happy accidents, yes. I think I first came across the phrase happy accidents, and I love it. It's one of my favorite. It explains anything away. Oh, that was just a happy accident. I think it was in the 12th night, I believe, Malvolio says, "Oh, happy accident," when he finds a letter, a love letter that he thinks is for him. In my life, I've had like this, what I thought was my trajectory. I really wanted to be a dramatic actress. I studied at Cornell. I was in a professional actor training program there, and I had these visions of myself as, probably the comic character, but in kind of straight dramas, and that's what I thought I wanted to do. And in a happy accident of fate, I sent out a bunch of resumes when I was living in Chicago to like the Goodman Theater, the Steppenwolf Theater, Victory Gardens, all these places that do straight plays. And I also sent one to Second City, and they actually asked me in for an audition. And out of about 100 women, I was cast in the touring company, and I really didn't understand why, because I found improvisation very unsettling. I like rules, I don't. Being in an improv is like jumping off a cliff. You never know what's going to happen. And they obviously saw something in me that I didn't know, and it turns out that being in sketch comedy and being a part of an ensemble is absolutely right for my skill set, and I'm very happy in that. And it's kind of led to this wonderful career that I have now, where I get to be part of these wonderful ensembles. So that's what I mean by happy accidents. And also, I kind of don't believe in accidents really, so it's kind of I use it kind of ironically. I really believe that it's my life protecting me and kind of taking me where I need to go next. And I find myself in a place and go, I had no idea this is where I'm supposed to be, but I can see now how this is